Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today is the final day of Amazon's Prime Day sales event, and because of that I wanted to do a talking head video so I could get this out as soon as possible, but I still have some big stories. Starting with Nvidia officially lowering prices, official specs on AMD's next-gen GPUs, and two huge stories on Intel's upcoming desktop Arc GPUs. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, it's the last day of Amazon's Prime Day sales event. But before I get to my favorite PC hardware deals, if you like learning about great PC hardware deals, make sure you subscribe to the GamerMeld notification squad. So far, thousands of you have already signed up, and it's basically so you can stay up to date on major PC hardware releases like CPUs, GPUs, etc. the day they come out, so you don't miss your chance to pick a new one up, as well as PC hardware deals and more. It's completely free, so make sure to check it out in the description below. Now, moving on to Prime Day, as you can see right here, if you aren't currently a Prime member, you can actually get a Prime membership free for 30 days right now. Just visit my link in the description to get that, plus all the stuff I go over here will be down in the description as well. Those are affiliate links, so they don't cost you anything more, but they help the channel out. Either way, first up, we have the i5 12600KF, and believe it or not, this is actually cheaper than it was yesterday. I believe it was like $229, somewhere around there, but as of right now, it's $217.55. And this is definitely a really good deal if you're interested in Intel's 12th gen CPUs. If you'd rather go the AMD route, the 5800X 8-core 16-thread CPU is currently quite a bit off, 39% off, bringing it down to $274.99. If you'd like to move up even higher, we have the 5900X, which is $237.50 off, bringing it all the way down. This is a 12-core 24-thread CPU, yet it's brought all the way down to $332.49. Next up, we have the PowerColor Fighter RX 6600 GPU that is right now $115 off. So if you've been trying to find a GPU for a while now, this is definitely a really good price on it. It is below MSRP, so I would definitely check this out at $254.99. Next, we have an SSD, and actually I say a SSD, but at least the 2TB and 1TB are currently on sale. This is a PCI Express Gen 4 drive, and as of right now, it's $90 off of the 2TB model and 23%, around $30 off of the 1TB model. Moving on, if you're not wanting to spend that much money for a brand new PCI Express 4.0 M.2 NVMe SSD, you can go the older SATA route with this 1TB SATA 3 SSD for just $65. So definitely not a bad deal there at all. Moving on, we have a really good deal on an 850 watt PSU, the Thermaltake Tough Power GF1. This is a fully modular PSU. It's $50 off, bringing it down to $89.99. But of course, if you don't need all that power, there's a Thermaltake Smart 500 watt PSU that's just $31. So not much money at all. Really good deal for this, 31% off. And finally, I have to talk about this just because it is quite possibly the most popular mouse ever, the Razer Death Adder mouse. Now, this is the 2018 model. I don't believe it comes with RGB. I think it just has the green LED, but regardless, it's 59% off, $20.38. And of course, you may notice that not all of these are technically Prime deals, so even if you don't have Prime, you can get some of these. And next up for today, while this may seem like it has to do with Prime Day, it's actually much bigger than that. As you can see right over here at Best Buy, the RTX 3090 Ti is currently $400 off. Now, you might think, yeah, Best Buy is having some sales right now as well, but here's the thing. If you remember a little while back, Best Buy became the only one that was officially allowed to sell Nvidia's Founders Edition cards. So this is strictly from Nvidia. This is their Founders Edition cards. They determine the price. It almost certainly has nothing to do with Best Buy doing this. This is likely coming directly from Nvidia, which means Nvidia is beginning to lower prices of their RTX 3000 GPUs officially from them. And really, I think that's the final step, the really big step that truly shows demand has plummeted for GPUs. Nvidia is actually selling the cards what they probably should have listed them for MSRP at the beginning. But of course, things were really wild at the time. So when they released the 3090 Ti, they definitely went to a really wild place with the price. Well, they're done with that. And to be honest, this really could mark a time where we could start seeing Nvidia lower prices for all of their GPUs, though of course it may be a little while longer for that, but at least we can say Nvidia has begun lowering prices on their own cards. And next up for today, we have a really big story that essentially proves a lot of the rumors we've been hearing recently about AMD's RX 7000 GPUs. If you remember, recently leaks have shown that AMD's upcoming Navi 31, so this is going to be the GPU that's in their biggest cards like the 7900 XT, 7800 XT, etc., is still an MCM design. You can see these are separate dies right here combined together. It is still an MCM design, but there is only going to be a single compute die. And what that means is that they're not necessarily combining kind of multiple GPUs into one package. It's only the actual processing cores and things like that of the GPU are on a single die, but the Infinity cache has been moved off to their own dies. And of course, that is a bit of a bummer, but this is still massive because this would be the absolute first MCM gaming GPU, and it definitely is a huge step in the right direction where GPUs are almost certainly going to be going, which will likely end up being multiple GPU dies on a single GPU for really amazing scaling, just like AMD did with their Ryzen CPUs. So this is a serious step, and of course, them being able to move the Infinity cache off of the compute die, they should be able to include more on that compute die, so it does give them more space to do things. Either way, in this story, AMD apparently mistakenly confirmed what we've been hearing on this, because you can see right here that they included in their most recent Linux driver that it says MCD instance MUM MCD being the Infinity cache. You can actually see them right here. This happened long before that leak. So these right here are your 6 MCD dies, and then you have the GCD die. Well, this says the MCD instances, 6 of them, just like we saw right here, 6 Infinity cache dies. Now, the thing that pretty much 100% solidifies this in my mind is that they ended up changing it. You can see right here, it said, the MCD instance MUM, but then just a week later, they replaced MCD with UMC node, as video card says, seemingly to hide the leak. Basically, at least in my mind, this essentially confirms, makes it official. We do already know that they're officially making an MCM GPU, but this really makes those leaks much more confirmed. We can also see that this essentially confirms that it is a 384-bit memory bus and will likely have a total of 192 megabytes of Infinity cache. Basically, AMD's next gen is looking really exciting, though of course, obviously Nvidia's are looking really exciting as well. But then there is Intel. As you can see right here, just today, Gamers Nexus actually released the first review of the A380, at least the first review in the US. And, if you are interested in that, I will have a link to it in the description. I'm not really going to talk about it because I've already been over the A380 quite a bit. But what I am going to do is show you that they actually have the first limited edition ARC A750. And this is a GPU that has not been announced yet, but we have obviously seen it in leaks and things like that. And of course, we've seen this design, but this is it right here, the limited edition. But hold on. That is not it. What I would say is even bigger than that is that, at least according to video cards, the Intel Arc gaming bus is coming to Colorado in late September. But the really big thing here is that in the bus, we can see these images right here. They show off a brand new GPU design. Moving on down here, this is a blown up image of it, but we can see it comes with a dual fan design. Looks fairly different from what we've seen out of Intel so far, but Basically, this looks to be yet another design from Intel, maybe their actual reference design, because before I actually assumed that their limited edition was their own reference design, but it's looking like they may have yet another. So while that does it for today, I do apologize. I know my voice sounds pretty awful if you can tell. I've been sick for the last few days, but let me know what your favorite deal is at the Amazon Prime Day sales event down in the description below, as well as what do you think about Intel's upcoming Arc GPUs and what about that AMD GPU? And of course, don't forget to check out the GamerMail notification squad. And as always, have a great day.